Hello, guys. In this session, we are going to analyze the ongoing crisis in Syria. So, if you see the recent developments, it have escalated to the point where the countries, including India, are advising its citizens to leave Syria immediately. And the tensions and the situation is so high, with reports indicating that Syria's capital may fall and the country could face partition. So, in this lecture, we will try to explore the root causes, the current power dynamics, and also the role of international actors and what this means for Syria and the global stage. So let's get into the video, and let's start with the current state of Syria. So Syria is on the edge of a collapse now. The president Bashar al-Assad's government actually control only a shrinking portion of the country. And if you see the other side, Kurdish-led democratic forces, the Syrian democratic forces control parts of the north, and the extremist group, the HTS, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, associated with Al-Qaeda, is actually, in fact, rapidly expanding in that region. So these groups are gaining ground and capturing cities like Aleppo, Hama, and are now advancing towards Damascus, which is the capital of Syria. So, if you see the role of Bashar al-Assad's government, see, his regime has historically been aligned with Russia and Iran, relying heavily on their support. But the regime's grip on power is weakening as opposition forces advance. So, the report suggests that Assad's family has already sought safety in Russia and raising questions about how long his government can hold out. So, if Damascus falls, it would mark the end of Assad's regime and potentially lead to Syria's division into smaller states. So let's look at the complex power struggle here. See, the crisis in Syria, actually fueled by multiple power struggles. The Kurdish force that we have discussed, they aim to establish an independent state, while HTS, actually supported by Turkey and indirectly by the US also, and they seek to overthrow Assad's government. So, adding to the complexity, these factions often receive funding and weapons from international players, each pursuing their strategic interest. So, this dynamics have transformed Syria into a battleground for regional and the global powers. Now, if you look at the international interest and the interventions in this, the US, Turkey, and Israel have significant stakes in the Syrian conflict. So the US has long sought to diminish, Russia and Iranian influence in Syria. Turkey has provided support to opposition forces, aligning with its broader geopolitical ambitions. Meanwhile, if you see, Israel views the Assad regime as a conduit for Iranian arms, which is reaching Hezbollah, a key, adversary. So Israel has carried out airstrikes also to disrupt these supply routes and also indirectly benefiting the Assad's weakening hold. So this is what the international situation at this point of time. And if you look at the geopolitical implications in this, the potential fall of Syria's, government holds far-reaching implications or consequences. A divided Syria could lead to the creation of new states, and some of which might be dominated by the extremist group. And for Israel, this scenario would eliminate a key conduit for Hezbollah's arms supply, but could also introduce new threats from unstable neighboring entities. Additionally, if you see, Turkey may seek to expand its influence in northern Syria, and that will further complicate the regional power balance. Let's also talk about Russia's limited role here. See, Russia, which is a long-term ally of Assad, finds itself in a challenging position now, heavily involved in the Ukraine conflict on the other side. Russia's ability to intervene decisively in Syria is now very limited. So this has emboldened the other actors like Turkey and the US to advance their agendas here. So the weakening of Russia foothold in Syria could significantly alter the region's geopolitical dynamics, which will reduce, or this reducing Moscow's influence in the Middle East again can affect the geopolitical dynamics as Turkey and US directly influencing now. So if you look at the strategic victory for Israel, Turkey, and the US in this case, if Assad regime collapses, it could be a strategic win for Israel, Turkey, and US. Israel would no longer face the threat of arms smuggling to Hezbollah through Syria if this happened. And Turkey could extend its territorial influence, and the US would see the removal of a Russian ally in the region. So the three, that is the Israel is winning here, Turkey is winning here, and the US is also winning here. How Israel is winning? They don't want to face the threat of arms smuggling to Hezbollah through Syria. And Turkey can expand its territorial influence. US will remove that Russian ally from that region. But the rise of extremist factions in Syria could pose new challenges, and particularly for regional stability and the counterterrorism efforts. What's the future? What's the road ahead? What are the lessons? See, the Syrian crisis underscores the complexity of modern geopolitics, where nations prioritize strategic interest over human rights or the stability. See, the immediate focus remains on the unfolding events in Damascus. The long term consequences for the region and global order are profound. So it is very crucial for international actors to collaborate on, framework that ensure peace and stability, that will prevent further fragmentation and extremism in Syria. Now, the situation in Syria is sobering, and stark reminder of how geopolitical rivalries can devastate a nation altogether. As countries like India evacuate their citizens, the world watches anxiously to see what lies ahead. So, will Syria again fragment into smaller states? Will the international community intervene to stabilize the region? That only time will tell. So, that's all about this session, guys. I hope you got the logic and understanding about the situation now. So, thank you so much for attending the session, and see you in the next video. If you're looking for mentorship for civil services, the details are given in the description. You can get in touch with us. You can consider subscribing the courses and the mentorship program. So thank you so much.